Hey everyone, it's me, Johnny G, and today's video is going to be a little more chill because it's going to be something that we haven't done in a while, in a channel update. We haven't just sat down and had a conversation here, or rather, I talked and you listened beyond just chatting during streams and so on, but I've been wanting to sit down and do one of these for a while, and I just haven't really had a whole lot to talk about. But recently we crossed 600 subscribers, and that gives me a lot to really talk about. Because we used to do these like after the video creation events, and sometimes it would involve me like unboxing the prize if I made it into the top 30 and showing that to you guys, and then talking about how that went and other things going on and what the future goals were with Arknights and with the channel and so on and so forth. But today's going to kind of touch upon those kind of things because we've had a couple of video creation events since I last did one of these. But again, we've crossed 500 subscribers, we've crossed 600. We've got so many other things going on in the background here that I'd like to tell you guys about and talk to you about my goals, my plans, my future, and where I hope things go with the channel. And there are some changes, things that I'd like to work towards, other goals, other things that I hope that you will embrace with me as we move forward with this, but one thing at a time. And first things first, we're just gonna simply go into this. And like I said, we're gonna start with the fact that we've got some personal things. I just want to tell you a little bit about what's going on in my life lately. And then we'll talk about how we've crossed 500 subscribers and now we've hit 600. We'll talk about the video creation events. We'll talk about my voice acting career. And like I said, the future and so much more. But first, let's start off with a little bit of personal and how I've been doing. And many of you who've been following the channel already know how things have been for me in the past, and you know my struggles with mental health, you know my struggles with financial stress and various other things. You know how I am with family and more. And under the circumstances, the biggest thing that I can say right now is I've been okay. I've been good. I've been very good. We had some issues earlier this year. We had some issues last year, and we're still working towards getting ourselves in a better position. I'm not the best, obviously, financially still. We're still climbing out of debts, but we're close. We're very close. We've been working very hard towards that. And we've been working very hard towards some other goals of things we'd like to do in the future. And that's one thing that's been the biggest plague. But as always, as any normal person knows, there's always something to indebt yourself to. Whether it's your house, whether it's your car, whether it's other things that come up that you need money for, whatever. There's always going to be debt and things in life. But my biggest thing is learning how to manage it from here and learning how to be a little bit better with my spending. And as you guys know, obviously from the stuff behind me, that I'm not the greatest when it comes to that, but I keep to a point where anymore I'm very limited on what I do spend my money on. It's either video games or the Arknights merch and things that make me happy. I've kind of gotten away from a lot of the thought process of like, ooh, this looks cool. I like what it comes from. I like the concept. And I've gotten to a process of, I like it, but do I really need that? And although I am much less in that mindset when it comes to my Arknights merch, you guys know how special that is to me, how much Arknights means to me. And that's one of those things where I'm not, there's still things that I don't get, and I'm not super picky to a point with the Arknights merch because I just love the characters. I love the world. There's nothing that I really dislike, but there's some things where I've just been like, I don't really need that. And I've passed on that too. So it is what it is. But I've been a lot better with just trying to keep my nose to the ground and focusing. And we've had some issues, some financial issues still. My wife lost her job at one point again this year. And we came back from that very quickly, though. She immediately found a new job within a couple of weeks. She had a new job. She's been working there successfully, and things have been going well. And I hope they stay that way, because she has some really good opportunities with where she's at now to potentially finish finally getting her GED and some other things that would be very beneficial for our family as a whole if she just takes the time to buckle down and put the effort in. And I'm here to support her in any way that I can. Other than that, because of getting behind with the holidays and things like that, we had a time where my car technically got repossessed. But we were able to pull through and get everything straightened away there. We got it back, we got back on track, and I've been in good shape since. Now we're at a point where we're just catching up on all the little things, paying a couple things off, and getting ourselves to where we can start building up a savings. Because we have some goals for the rest of this year, for things that we want to save up for, events and things that we'd like to attend, and cosplay and stuff that we'd like to do. And just things in general that I'm working towards. Financial goals, savings for the future. So that's one thing. And of course, again, if you're following my story and you've been here on the channel, you know about some of these things that have happened. If you're in my community Discord server, I've talked about things there, and you guys have helped talk me through some things. So it's been nice. And I've had family on my side the entire time to help me through a lot of these things. So that's been amazing as well. Aside from that, though, life's been pretty solid. Life's been pretty good. There hasn't been too much that I've been worried about or stressing over. A lot of my focus has just been on trying to clean up our house right now, and we're in the summertime weather, so I'm kind of in the process of trying to accomplish some goals and things around the house that are good for this time of weather. Like my kids' playroom has a wall that we had to fill with a piece of drywall a while back, and it needs patched around and then painted over. And we haven't gotten completely done with that yet. I started patching it and then just kind of left it as is. So I need to finish that up. That's one of the things we're working on. We're working on cleaning up and doing some things in our kitchen to help improve that a little bit. And we did some work outside recently in our outdoor area and cleaned up some old, dried, rotted, dead bushes and stuff around our house to make things look a little better and get things ready to where my wife can start gardening a little bit. She wants to be able to plant some nice flowers and stuff around the house and put some effort into making things a little nicer, presentably outside. And there's other things that I'd like to do, but it's the perfect weather to do that. So I've been putting time into that. Things that I feel good and accomplished when I'm done with, that are outside of this, outside of creating content, outside of video games and other goals and things that I've been working on, outside of voice acting. So there's different things like that that I've just been putting time and effort into. And family has also been a big thing for me. I've been spending a lot of time with family, and whether it's just spending time with my wife and kids, or it's with my parents, my sister and her kids and stuff like that, I've just been enjoying it. Every chance that I do have, I haven't been taking it for granted. I've been planning some things as well for family, because there's things that I'd like to do. Like my boys both play ice hockey, and I'd like to spend some time here, some more time working with them on their skills, on working together and learning, on getting them up to speed, because my youngest is done with the travel team that he's part of. We're moving away from that, we're done with them and how they treated us and things like that. I'm done dealing with problems and issues there consistently. And he's moving to the school team that my oldest moved to play for. And my oldest is moving up to the varsity team, and they might be having a JV team if they have enough kids this year to do that. So that gives them a little more opportunity for ice time. But I told my oldest if he wants to be able to play varsity, he knows there's going to be a lot bigger kids, better kids, faster kids that are going to get more of the ice time. And if he wants to compete and keep up, we've got to get his speed up there. And my youngest is a little underdeveloped with his skills, so I need to work with him to get him up there so that when he moves on to this, not JV, but freshman team, whatever you want to call it, middle school team would be the best way to put it. If he wants to keep up with that, he's going to have to put in the effort to get his speed up to date, his skills up to speed, to where he's able to compete at that level. So there's things that like we're working on there, and I'm starting to get back into the swing of things with putting my health in perspective and first, and little things like trying to get my eating habits reined back in. And I made the stupid mistake. I was doing really well up until the holidays, and I made the stupid mistake of letting the holidays throw me off completely. And after I came back to work after that, I've been eating horribly again and not really focusing a lot. And I gained back some of the weight that I lost. I was doing really, really well. I was 20 pounds down, over 20 pounds. It was like 21 or 22 when I last remember checking off. I started at 250. I was down to 229 or 228, one of the two. So it was making solid progress, but I know that I've gained some back since then, unfortunately. So I've got to continue working on that and doing better. But I'm back to the point where I've set up my boxing equipment out in my pavilion outside so that I can go out there and work on the heavy bag a little bit when I want to, when I'm frustrated, when I'm stressed. Only problem is I had some issues the first couple times I used it with my wrist, and it hurt me for a little while. So I was wearing I've got a little wrist brace that has one of those electronic attachments to it. It's rechargeable, but it sends like massage pulses and stuff in there to help. So I'm probably going to have to go get that looked at again eventually, but that's for another time. For now, it is what it is. We'll deal with it. We'll heal it up as best as possible, and then we'll continue to work as we can and wrap it as best we can before we box, so to speak. But I'm putting my health, again, back in perspective and in the focus again. But overall, life has just been good. Despite minor issues and minor hiccups still, I think we're finally getting to a point where I'm able to say again that I'm happy. So we'll continue forward and see where life takes us. That being said, that's just a little personal update for you. The next thing to really talk about is the channel and how things have been, especially since the last time I've really talked to you guys. And one of the biggest things was we hit 500 subscribers a while back. And I started on this journey of creating content to celebrate that. Because when we hit 500 subscribers, that was two big things for me. The first being that 500 subscribers meant that I could become YouTube partner. I applied for it, and the process that was supposed to take a lot longer than what it didn't. It was quick. They approved me really quickly. Now, it's not the full YouTube partner. You could call it YouTube Partner Lite because I'm technically part of the partner program, but I'm not able to fully monetize in the sense that I'm not able to get ad revenue. I'm not able to get revenue from YouTube Premium users who watch the channel. I'm not able to get those different sides of things. And there's some other benefits and things that I would get as full YouTube partner. But for that, I have to reach 1,000 subscribers. And I'm not quite there yet. But the other positive thing that came out of 500 subscribers was the ability to apply for the Arknights creator program, the headhunting program. I applied for that, successfully joined, I'm part of that now. The biggest problem with that is that is also kind of a light mode thing, because in order for me to get full advantage out of that program, I need to be of a higher subscriber count. I need to be better off. I need to be creating more content and getting out there more, being seen more. There's better benefits to me getting more views. And we'll talk about things like that in a little bit, on some ideas and things that I have for the future and how I can move the channel forward and grow more. But for now, those are the positives that came out of reaching 500 subscribers. And then, like I said, I started on a bit of a path where I was working on celebratory content, but I didn't complete it all. And here we are now at 600 subscribers, and I still haven't finished it. So what we did do is I created a Syracuse medley cover where I was working on my vocal covers, my singing vocal covers, and I wasn't too happy with that. At first, for whatever reason, when I first recorded and then I first edited it and put it together, for some reason in my brain, I thought it sounded great. But I went back here recently, not great, but I thought it sounded good enough for me, for my skill level. But when I went back and listened to it recently, I wasn't happy with it. I don't like the way it sounds. And multiple times I've thought about just taking the video down. But on the other hand, I'm also leaving it up in the sense of, maybe if I just leave it up, it's motivation for me. I don't know. Something's preventing me from taking it down. And I don't know what that is, but in my mind, I'm not happy with it because I feel like I didn't put enough time, despite knowing these songs, despite practicing a lot in my car and just singing at home and just walking around, whatever. I just wasn't content with how things came out. And I'm also not the best at mixing the audio and stuff yet. I'm learning that, and I have access to different tools and things to help me, but I just don't know how to utilize it all to its fullest yet. And audio mixing and music mixing and like editing my voice to make it better, not so much like auto-tuning or anything like that, but just adjusting like the EQ and de-essing and basic things like that. I'm still working on learning. So that's something that I have to do better at yet. But I just wasn't happy with that particular set of covers, which kind of sucked because I was very excited to do those. And as many of you know, the Syracuse stories are some of my all-time favorites in Arknights. And I really wanted to do them justice, but I didn't. And that said, so be it. There's many others that I'm looking forward to covering. And I'm still practicing and I'm still learning, but I made it a specific point to myself that unless I was 100% happy with vocal covers and stuff in the future as I record them, unless I'm 100% confident in them, I'm not going to upload until I get that down. So I'll be working a little bit more on practicing them and with being a little more critical of how I sound and my editing process before I release stuff like that in the future. Just to ensure that I'm doing better quality-wise and I have a better experience to learn from as well if I can understand my mistakes, whether it's pitch correction and, you know, just the overall sound of my voice, the tone, and trying to match things, or at the same time taking time to make it a little more my own instead of doing an exact sound for sound cover of how the words are like sang, you know, if that makes sense. But I want to put more effort into learning more and doing better in the future. And since then, the first one that I did that I was happy with, and ultimately I did put out, and I was very surprised at the reception of it, but I was happy, was the Pass On vocal cover, the Gregor version of Pass On from Limbus Company. I had to learn the speaking and the cadence, or singing in the cadence of the Korean language for that song. And I just learned through the song mainly, but I found a Romanized version of the lyrics and read along multiple times and continued to practice and work on that because it was special to me and it was a challenge laid out by my friend Lucky. And I wanted to accomplish that for them. So I did. I learned. And it took a long time, but I got it. I got it out there. And the amount of positive reception that I got from that was genuinely surprising. I was very happy with that vocal cover because despite a couple of small, tiny, minor complaints I'd have about my own voice and stuff at certain parts during the song, I feel like I really nailed that one. And it was tough, but the biggest part of that really made me happy was the fact that it was a challenge and I completed the challenge, so to speak. But I was very happy with that one. And that was another one of the list to complete. Now, the only other things that we completed off of that celebratory list was there was 2 Fortnite streams. One was just a family stream, just the 4 of us, myself, my wife, and our kids, playing together, having fun. And we waited until the 1 season changeover to do that. And then we had what I called the Kill Race Super Stream, where we had kill races, but we had different challenges and stuff involved, and we had special kill races and stuff that we did, and we accomplished that as well. But there was still a handful of things that I have yet to complete as well. And the thing is, I'm not abandoning those. We're still going to complete those. That's still to help celebrate the channel. I'm probably not going to label them specifically as 500 subscribers celebration, videos or anything anymore. I will just label them as they're going to be called. And you guys will know, everybody who follows will know. And, I'll probably notate something like that in the description of the video, as well as like when I make my social media posts of new uploads and stuff like that, or streams, that's what it's for, for subscriber increase, improvement and stuff like that. Whatever, I'll put those things in there, but for the most part I will just label these normally and we'll continue from there, because they're still for the celebration, but we're kind of so far past things that it's hard to really say that we're still celebrating something that happened how long ago. We are, but we're also looking forward. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. But of the things that we haven't done yet, we haven't done the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster stream. Jumping back to my roots at the beginning of the channel, my Twitch streaming and everything like that, way back at the beginning, and playing Dead Rising. Ever since that came out, I have not actually sat down to beat that version of the game. And I meant to do that for the first time here with you all. And I'm going to sit down and stream it, but I have to make sure that I have the time because I want to do it beginning to end. I want to beat the entire game in one sitting, the way I've done plenty of times with the OG one in the past, but I want to sit down and beat that entire game for you. I'm going to try. If we can't, for whatever reason, we will break it into 2 streams because it'll be a good few hour, larger streams that'll be fun to just sit, chat more, focus on the game, have fun, and have that blast from the past moment. But we'll still try to find time to do it in one sitting if we can. I wanted to do another cooking video, another cooking with Arknights, but a special celebration video. And this one was going to be a celebration cake based off of one of the cakes that was given by one of the events or anniversaries or something like that, and it's supposed to be like Amiya's birthday cake or a birthday cake to you from Amiya, something like that. I can't remember for sure, but I have the screenshot, like the picture of it saved, the item, but it has like a little bunny on top and stuff like that. I have the image of the cake, and we're going to recreate this cake from the game. But at the same time, it's going to be the celebration cake and siesta iced tea, which is an alcoholic beverage that Holhack mentions. But I have recipes to do 2 different versions, one being alcoholic, one being non-alcoholic. So there's options that everybody would get to enjoy and celebrate, especially anybody who likes to follow along and try to make the things that appear in the video. So I have different things put together to create those. So I'm gonna be making notes and making that video soon as well. And then I had 2 other streams and 1 other additional thing yet. And of the 2 streams, one of which is learning Mirror Dungeon for Limbus Company. That's the next step where I'm at. I completed Canto 2, I've unlocked Mirror Dungeon, I'm ready to start Canto 3, but I want to learn Mirror Dungeon, and I figured that would be a perfect special thing. We'll learn it, play it a bit, get used to things as one stream with you guys, and then move forward. And then an Arknights squad randomization stream, meaning what I'm going to do is I want to continue to build up my operators. Low level, high level, doesn't matter. 6-star, 1-star, 2-star, 4-star, I don't care. I want to build up as many as I can and have it set so that I have some spin wheel stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick random chapters or events or a set of stages or something and spin the wheel and select a randomized group of operators and try to beat those stages with that. I just think it would be a lot of fun. And this could turn into something more. But the idea is to play those and just kind of use that as something that is another challenge type thing for me, because in the past you guys have known that I've done small challenges during Arknights events where I've done just like Texas and Lapland only stuff, or I've tried to do a whole Lupo squad during the one Syracuse event, and I've tried to do other random type of challenges with specific characters and groups to try and complete certain things. So this would kind of be like that, but in a little bit of a bigger capacity, I would think, compared to the small form like I've done before. So that was it. And then the last idea that I had was kind of like a up in the air sort of thing, but I still listed it, that I wanted to create designs and things for channel merch for the future, mainly because obviously I'm at a point where I don't have a lot of ability or push to be able to get merch out there. Even if I use one of these free platforms through like Streamlabs or Stream Elements or something, or one of these others where I can make the merch and not pay anything out of pocket, I still don't have a lot of means to sell a lot yet. And while it would be nice to start putting that stuff out there, I don't know if I'm quite ready for it yet. We'll see. If I get really excited about the designs, then maybe we'll just do something like that. I'll vet a possible provider and get some preview stuff made, and then maybe we'll start making some things or open a little shop and start to do that, because that money would support my family, which is the biggest thing out of it. But it also gets my name out there, and anybody who would wear a t-shirt with my design or logo on it would get to, well, not only show their support for me, but would be helping me by getting people to question and say, what's that for? Who is that? You know, and then they find me and hopefully stay, you know? But we'll see. And I've been kind of working on my art skills and stuff a little bit more lately. Some of you know that, others not so much, but some of you know. And I've been working on that in order to improve. And that said, I think I'm at the point where I'll be a little more comfortable with designing something like this now. So we'll work towards it, but that's probably the last thing that we'll worry about. And that's not such a pressing thing compared to the other streams and videos and stuff that I'd like to make. But other than that, for the channel, really, I just want to continue moving forward. I want to continue growing. And we'll talk about the future towards the end of the video. But as it stands, we just recently hit 600 subscribers. And I'm very, very thankful for that. For all of you who have been around here, from Arknights to Limbus Company to Fortnite content to other things that I've done now with voice acting and so much more. I thank you all for just being here, for taking time and just chilling, chatting with me, commenting on the videos, watching, anything. I'm thankful for you all. And one of the other things that I want to do with the channel isn't so much about the channel so much as it is about friendships that I've made in the content creator space. And I've made friends with a couple of people, starting through Arknights and through socials because of it. I've made friends with Rosabells and Ghost of Lamplight. I've made friends with Luna the Midnight Cat Girl. Luna and Rosa are both in my community Discord, and they're chatting on occasion and sharing things, which is always fun. And I need to support them more because I always tend to, time zone differences and things are a thing, of course, and I always tend to catch them like after the fact VODs, or I'm busy during times when they're live or whatever's going on. I'm at work, or even just things going on at home, and I don't get to always see their videos and things like that. But I want to do better at taking some more time to watch and support them because they deserve it as well. And they're trying to grow, and they're doing the same thing as me. They're moving forward with their channels, with their content, and doing this to have fun and to entertain you all. So I suggest you all take a chance on them as well. If you're not familiar, if you haven't met them yet, or even if you watch my channel and you've seen them around and whatnot, go subscribe to them as well. Give them a watch once in a while too. It's always fun to help each other and help each other grow and support each other. So I want to do more of that, because without that, where are we? There's a lot of selfish creators and stuff out there in the world, and people who aren't selfish, but they're just lonely and they don't have support. They haven't met others yet. And I don't want to be that kind of person. And I don't want anybody else that I know to be that kind of person, to feel that. I want to support others as best as I can to help them continue on their paths. So I want to do more of that as well. So we'll see. We'll see how things go in the future, but that's a personal goal in terms of my channel. But at the same time, I'd love to collaborate as well with them, with others, with anybody who's interested in collaborating and making some fun content and doing streams and things like that. Because whether it's a stream or a video, I'd like to be able to create content with others that we can share together and just have fun and embrace what we have in life. And as it stands, I've done some collaborations with like other voice actors and things on the channel, and we'll talk about that in the future here of this video. But I want to be able to collaborate with the friends I've made as well on here, through YouTube, through social media, through Discord, and even the friends that I have that I've made through here that aren't content creators, that want to appear on the channel and chat together and stream together, or whatever. You want to join the stream and play games together. I want to do that. I want to enjoy that with all of you. So I want to open the door to collaborations more, and hopefully going forward we can do that. We can enjoy that. No, that's pretty much it for the channel for now. We'll get back to it with some other things here towards the end of this video, but for now, there's other things that I'd like to talk about, and the first of which is something that's been big, and a big part of me here for the last year has been voice acting. And any of you following my journey know that I started voice acting about a year ago, a little over a year ago. Actually, my 1-year anniversary as a voice actor, when I submitted my first auditions and got my first roles, was June 3rd. June 3rd of 2025 is when I started voice acting. I submitted my first auditions. Shortly after is when I had achieved my first castings. And it has been a wild ride over this past year. And while I haven't been in a ton of things, there's things that I've been working on in the background that many of you haven't even seen yet or hasn't come out. So there's things like that going on that I can't give a whole lot of detail about. I'm technically NDA'd until it does release. NDA'd without being NDA'd, basically for respect to the directors and things like that, without being explicitly told that I can say that I'm cast in these projects. I don't want to say anything. But there have been quite a few things that I have been in that are out in the public now and are huge for me because they were great steps towards the beginnings of this career and me investing in this as a career choice. And I'll kind of take a moment here just to say how I got into it again, because some of you may not even know that. Some of you just know that I'm doing voice acting and stuff now, but of everything that has gotten me into this, it's quite a few things, because the main thing that started the conversations with you guys who inspired me to do this is the fact that I was doing the Arknights streams and videos where I'm narrating. I'm doing voices for the characters as I read the story to you. And a lot of you said, you know, you should try it. And I thought, you know, it would be a lot of fun with everything that Arknights has done for me and how it's made me feel as a person, and the way that the game has been such a big part of my life, that I'd love to be a voice of one of the characters in it someday going forward. And that kind of kickstarted things. A lot of you said, take a chance, try, do it, go for it. So I did. I decided, you know what? I have the skills. I have the experience in just doing stuff here in content. The fact that I was an arena announcer at one point for local college hockey team. And growing up, I've just loved being silly and doing impressions and things that are making my friends and family laugh. And that's enough for me to say, you know what? I'm taking a chance. I'm trying. I'm going for it. I did research. I learned. I found Casting Call Club, which was the first step in the direction. And then I started moving towards learning through social media, other outlets, other ways to audition for projects, to try for things. And while we've had a couple of downs in terms of projects that either I got cast in and got canceled later on, or there was poor management of projects that ended up dead after so long, various other things, that other roles that could have been out by now that you guys would have experienced, but things happened, of course, so they're not here anymore. You know, the projects are done, they're canceled, they're over, whatever. There's other ones that have seen the light of day, and I'm happy to be able to talk about them and show them off, because it's the steps in my journey to where we are now. Starting with the Library of Ruin of fandom as Walter. It was one of the first projects, if not, actually it was the first project I was officially cast in. And that was the first chance that was taken on me. And yeah, it was a fan dub. It's a fan dub project, and it's not anything of an official capacity, but it's something that hasn't really been done. And it's being done by a very talented group of people, all coming together, between the voice actors, between the casting director / director, and everybody that is helping to make it a reality. That was the first chance that was taken on me, and it was a ton of fun, because it was my first character role, my first death, and it was interesting. And then there's another small role that I've had that I've recorded some things for, that some, like one part is out there and the rest of it isn't, but where I was technically a Flareon called Solar Flare for an Evolution Squad incorrect quotes video or something like that. But I've recorded like probably about 3 times the amount of content compared to what is out there, what was edited and released. So not everything was released, but there hasn't been anything additional for that. So I think that project's kind of also done, dead, something. I don't know how to describe that, but it is what it is. But I was part of that. That was another early on, like, first role type of thing. But then I've been in 2 video games. One a little larger of a role, not super large, but I had quite a few lines, and then another where I just had a short cameo at the end. Both were by Mixonet. So my first one was a Christmas horror game that came out at the end of last year called Death on Holly Ridge, and I was the dispatcher for it. The dispatcher talking to the character named Rachel, who is the player character, and Rachel was played by my friend Sprank. It was a lot of fun to do, and of all things, Death on Holly Ridge was played by Queso. Of all people, Queso played that game. So the amount of people that have watched that game, watched that VOD, watched that stream, thousands of people heard my voice, heard Sprank's voice, heard the voices of the others, the narrator and the other small parts that were in that game. That is insane and baffling to me. And then Mixonet reached out to me later for a small part that he needed in a game coming after that was called Mitnell, that I was just like a news reporter. I'm at the very end of the game. There's a news report on in like a diner or something, and you hear me reading off some information. So it's pretty cool. I'm in 2 video games, actual original video games. And then some more fan works. I'm in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Abridged as Dromark. Anybody who knows Dromark, he's the kick-ass White Tiger Blade, partner of Nia. And it was fun because one of my favorite lines, and I still say this to this day, and my kids get weirded out by it, is, "I'm going to barf in Nia's shoes later." You know, I just find it so fun to say that ridiculously. It's stupid, but it is what it is. And then there's a Genshin Fanworks group that I'm part of, Red Rapture, that does different things. We did a video where I was Tainari, and it was just a very short part there, but that was a lot of fun. And then I've been in various comic dubs. I'm in a comic dub group for Hasbin Hotel where I'm Vox. It's the second time I was cast as Vox. The first one unfortunately fell through, but it was going to be a song cover of Hasbin Guarantee, Trust Us, the very first song of season 2. And yeah, that was the first attempt at me singing stuff outside of my vocal covers on YouTube. And I nailed that, but that didn't happen. That didn't finish. And that kind of sucked because there was a lot of talented people who were going to be involved in that. And me to play Vox was a lot of fun. And that was the first part of me getting out there as him, as a fan dub for Vox. But then again, like I said, I've gotten into a comic dub group where I've recorded 2 or 3 comics for them. I think one is out for sure, but I believe there's a second one coming out soon. So there's that. And then I've done comic dubs with other voice acting friends here on the channel and on other socials and stuff as Vox. So that's been a ton of fun. But then there's my 2 biggest roles in indie animation. The first being a Five Nights at Freddy's AU fan series, AU being alternate universe. I know that's kind of a more common term today, but I know some people, including my family watching, that may watch this, that don't quite know what that means. So that was just to explain to them. Alternate universe is something that somebody creates. It's their own original take on things. And with this, it was fun time at Freddy's. I got to play the role of Springtrap and Spring Bonnie. The same character, but Spring Bonnie first, Springtrap later. And I've got a continuous role with that character now going forward. And that series is with Hooting Pictures. And Hooting Pictures is a lot of fun to be part of, between the Discord server and that, as well as my other role with them, which we'll get to in a moment. But Fun Time at Freddy's is kind of interesting because, again, it is an alternate universe. It's an original take on creating a story using Five Nights at Freddy's characters, but it's a very fun comedy indie animated series. And being Spring Bonnie and Springtrap is very interesting because I've had to do a British accent for the first time. I've never really done anything like that. No, with Dromark, I kind of have a little bit of one British European accent, but it's not as thick And even like Spring Bonnie and Springtrap is not a very thick accent, but it's just some of the drawl with the words and things that getting that correct tone. I did a little studying to make sure that I got those right, but it was interesting to be cast in that because, again, that was actually the second role that I was cast in with Hooting Pictures, and it was the first one to come out. But that was such a crazy experience because when it first came out and I first sat down to watch it, I did the live stream and reacted to it because I was off the day it released. But after I was done with the stream, I went off and I sat down and I had myself a little bit of a cry, admittedly, because it was so odd to me to say that I'm in something animated like that has so much effort behind it. Not that any of the other projects that I'm in don't have a lot of effort in them, but to see what Sally does with Hooting Pictures to create all the different animated series that they do, it's so incredible. And getting to see the behind the scenes through their Discord server is amazing as well. But that was such a fun role. But then the first thing that they cast me in, which to me, I viewed this whole time as my big break into indie animation and into voice acting for original content, is Topsy-Turvy as this guy, Wills. And I'm recording this video just after Topsy-Turvy finally released. This was their original pilot, indie animated pilot for a series. And it was something very special because it has connections to their other shows that they've done, but it's brand new. It tells a story of a lot of fun characters, and the entire cast that I've gotten to work with is so incredibly talented. And getting to watch this grow from the initial script and concept and casting through the artwork and animation, all the way up to finally releasing and seeing the reception it's getting so far has just been mind-blowing. And the day that this released, I was at work last Friday, so I couldn't watch it right away with the premiere. I was at work and it came out right at my lunch break, so at that point it weighed on me and it hit me, and I'm like, it's finally here, it's real, it's out now. I got the notification from YouTube on my phone. I'm like, I'm not watching right now, but it was real. And I went and sat in my car. And I cried for a little bit, just thankful that I was able to be part of this. And that somebody took a chance on me as my first attempt at a big role like that. And that is the largest role I've recorded to date. The most lines I've had, the biggest responsibility I've had as a voice actor. And since then, I've had the time to reflect because, like I said, at the beginning of this month, June 3rd was my 1-year anniversary as a voice actor. And I've had time to reflect on the friends that I've made through voice acting, through being part of these Discord servers, through being part of groups to create this content, and the friends I've made on social media as well that we may not have had a chance to work together, but I would love to. And I hope that we can. And it's really inspired me to go forward. And my castmates, many of my castmates are very, very inspirational to me, especially in Hooting Pictures and some of these other projects. One, I mean, if any of you have watched Topsy-Turvy and you've seen the character Vice is played by Josh Portillo. I hope I didn't mispronounce his name. But man, is he uber talented, very, very talented. And I love following him on socials and just seeing the work that he's done in so many venues. He's even played one of my favorite childhood characters, an Astro Boy, in a mobile game. Like, I'm blown away by what Josh does. And his performance as Vice, hearing that is even more. Like, man, he's definitely an inspiration to my career, but so many others are also very inspirational for me and are helping me to grow and to continue on my path, on my journey. And I haven't done a lot lately, but I am going to be continuing to do auditioning and stuff going forward. I'm going to start looking at ways to continue growing. I want to create a website and do some more branding and things for myself. I'm going to get a haircut here very soon, and then try to take some headshots, make sure I'm nice and clean shaven and stuff. And I want to take some headshots and get myself looking a little better. But we'll get that kind of stuff out there to help with my resume. I want to create an official resume for myself. I've got an IMDb page thanks to Hooting Pictures now as well. And I want to start creating a little more voice acting based content. And I don't know if that's going to be here on this channel or if I'm going to break out a little bit more. I might keep it here for now at least, but if things start to get going a lot more, then I might create a separate voice acting specific channel for me. But as of right now, that's gonna stay all together here, and we're just gonna continue to test the waters and create some other voice acting content, whether it's shorts, whether it's themed after Arknights and other things. Like I still want to continue doing things like that. I'd still like to do some other different character voice creation and dubbing type of things for other games that don't have English dubs, or recreating, giving my own take on characters and things. We'll deal with that in the future, but there's other content I'd like to do, and voice acting collaboration that I'd like to do. Which also leads me into my next topic, which is the Arknights fandom project that we started here. For those of you that know, on the last video creation event for the Silver Ash and Praminix Altar event, we created an Arknights fandom preview. And I'm going to continue with that project. The initial reception for it has blown me away. It was very positively received by the community. It was accepted as the finalist choice of all my videos that I did. It was the finalist entry that was picked for the video creation event. And going forward with this, that is something that I am definitely going to be creating another channel for. We're going to create another channel, and I'm going to be pushing for creating a casting roster. We're going to create a casting roster. I'm going to use Casting Call Club and Google Docs and things like that as a way to audition or to cast people, to open up casting calls. And going forward, we are going to finish this first event that we started. We're going to finish and get that completed. And once that's done, in the meantime, while we're working on that, I'm going to need to cast a lot more people for it. So that's going to be something that we'll deal with as we go. But I'm going to start casting to start other parts. We're going to officially create a Rhodes Island Storytellers YouTube channel and casting roster to begin completely fan dubbing the story from beginning to end, all the side stories and events, the main theme, all of it. We're going to do it all. And I hope that you will all join on that journey as well. There will be more information to come for that, but one of my biggest things right now is I do need to create the branding for it, and I need to continue with the first project that we started with it and get that finished. So I'll have to reach out to all the actors who participated to begin with, to start with, and once I confirm everybody's involvement, then we'll begin the rest of it. Now, I may, for the final version of the full dub, of that event, I will possibly go back and make some small changes, because there was some editing and things that I had to do at the last minute that kind of squished some things together that I'd like to expand and make sound a little bit better for the finished product, but we'll get there when we get there. That's one thing. But for now, I'm excited to move forward with that project. And there's some other things that I'd like to talk about with voice acting and with concerning that project as well, that just the way, again, like I said, I want to do some voice acting based content, and I'd like to talk about my experience to help maybe some other people who are interested in taking the step and want to learn and want to jump into voice acting, that maybe they'll be able to use my story and my information to help guide the beginning of their career. And at the same time, little things like the discourse over fan dubbing and fan projects and stuff that go on, and things like that I'd like to talk about, that I'd just like to be able to cover here on the channel. And using the Arknights fandom project as an example of why it's positive, and so on and so forth. But that's, again, more stuff for the future, things to think about. Now, that said, what does the future look like? What are my goals? What do I want to do going forward? There's a lot. To say the least, there's a lot. And the first thing is, we're definitely continuing. We're moving forward. We're going to continue with content, with streams, with everything. But the biggest thing that I want to do is I want to attempt more consistency. And I know I've said that a lot in the past, and there's times where I've started on the track towards it and fell off, and there's other times where I've said it and it just hasn't happened. And it's unfortunate, but I mean it. I need to. If I'm going to really make my goals and dreams a reality with this channel, and if I'm really going to get it to the point that I want to support my family properly with it and make it my main career, content creation, game development, voice acting, all these things that I've talked about doing for a very long time, if I want it to be real, I have to be consistent. I have to put my nose down, so to speak, and get to the grind. And through that, I've been working on a plan. I've been working on a strategy, and I'm looking at testing it soon. And to say the least, without kind of boring you and telling you every last little detail of it, my biggest goal right now is we're going for 1,000 subscribers to start with. That's my next huge goal. We hit 600, next stop 1,000, you know, and we'll be happy with everything in between, of course, but 1,000 is the biggest thing and the next step for both YouTube Partner, the Arknights headhunting program, and so many other things that to get me involved with, I need at least that. So, and aside from that, I'm looking at ways to set myself up for continual growth for the future and establishing habits and like a schedule, so to speak, that will help me continue to grow going forward. And the biggest thing is, you guys know that scheduling for me is never the best thing because of my family, because of my kids, because of things that happen, the way life works. So there's not a specific schedule as in like, you know, like I used to do years ago when I was on Twitch and stuff, where I was like, here's my stream schedule. I'm going live at this time and I'm playing this game, and I would post that. I'm not doing that sort of thing, but I am working on creating a schedule as in like, I'm gonna start posting more short form content daily, and I'm going to make sure that I'm putting out at least one, but if I can do more good quality, longer videos, I'm going to start planning them and having more content for you guys to enjoy and to hopefully help grow and let the algorithm push me out there. But I'm also focused on really adjusting my content as well. Like, I am kind of in a process here where what I'm going to do is I'm still going to have Arknights as my content primarily. That's still my main thing. We're still going to do other stuff, other games and other things that I've done in the past. Fortnite is still going to be a big thing on the channel. Trying new games is always going to be a new thing. But there's other games that I've started that I haven't finished. We've got Limbus Company and stuff like that that I want to continue with. We started Reverse 1999, which is fun. I'd like to do a little series on Wuthering Waves here and see where that goes, because I want to play the Cyberpunk event in it. There's things like that that I'd like to do. And again, other games that I've started, including one of my biggest nags that's in the back of my head that I still can't get rid of because I need to finish it because I started it here on the channel, is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I've not finished that game. I played it at release day. I made such a huge deal out of being excited to play that. I streamed so many times with that game, and I have yet to go back and finish it. And I need to do that. I'm going to. I haven't touched the game since the last time I played. I did get the Switch 2 upgrade for it, so I paid the $10 for the upgrade pack for that. So I have the upgraded visual version. So next time we play, you're getting that. But there's games like that. The Ace Attorney trilogy that I started that was a gift. Thank you, Museum Lucky, that I still want to continue playing on here because I love that game. It's so much fun and interesting. The stories are fun in it, and I've never beaten the original. I want to beat the original and then continue. So I have to do that. Other games from indie titles that I've gotten the chance to play and to review and haven't gotten to play more, I'd like to do that. I'd like to go back and finish. So I'll be working on that kind of stuff. Those things are still going to be part of the channel. I still want to do the family streams and involve that. But I want to continue and include more voice acting stuff. And one thing that I'm going to try, because of the way that the algorithm is with YouTube and with other things, is I want to separate content a little bit. We're going to separate things in terms of, I'm going to move my reviews, my food reviews, to a separate channel. We're going to start a new channel and move my reviews off because I think that's affecting some of my algorithm push. And this was a suggestion made by some of you in the community, as well as just some research that I've done. And in my strategy, my plan that I've been working on, I'm looking at kind of breaking it down into a percentage-based thing, where like the majority of my content is going to be Arknights. A much smaller portion is going to be like my voice acting type stuff. And then the smallest portion is going to be everything else that I do, which may be like my cooking videos, which are once in a while type of things, but they're always themed after Arknights or some other thing. There's always other goofy videos and things that I may make, cosplay stuff, little life type updates, vlogs and things, but those are going to account for just such a small percentage that, according to my research, are not going to really affect the algorithm as long as it's not the predominant content, I should say, should be my Arknights content. So that's going to be the way things are going forward. But we're going to move the food reviews to another channel and try that and see how that works. And who knows, maybe that will get into the algorithm more and more people will see my food reviews that way. But like I said earlier, I want to continue to support others and work on getting some collaborations and stuff going with my friends and with other creators and seeing how that goes. But I had mentioned before that I want content creation to be my way of supporting my family on top of my voice acting and video game development. Video game development was always my dream since I was a little kid, and I've done so many attempts at starting it, and I've stopped because something has prevented me, or I just haven't had the time to focus or whatever, and I'm not giving up on it. I'm going to continue with that as well. And one thing is, I do have a project that I started here earlier this year, and I'm slowly, very slowly working on it just as I have the time. But I'm going to need help with it in the future. So I'll be working towards that and trying to maybe build a small team rather than just do things solo. And we'll see where we go. But I'm still pushing towards game development. And my current project hopefully will pan out to be something awesome in the future. But I don't want to give too much detail for now. And if you're in my community server, my Discord server, then you'll see more about it. There is some information out there on what I'm doing and what my project title is. But someday I'll start to put some more things out there. But I'm also going to make some videos that are kind of a crossover between cosplay and voice acting type stuff, where I want to do some things. I'm working on a cosplay of Wills, of the character Wills from Topsy Turvy. That I'm not too far into it yet. I'm going to need like some fur and stuff like that, but I'm working on a head mask for him, and I'm going to get material to make the clothing and to make the body and everything, and we're going to make a cosplay. And I already told Sally with Hooting Pictures that if you ever need me for anything, I will travel. I will do what I can to bring Wills to you, and we'll go to a convention or something and help put Topsy Turvy out there a little bit more, you know. But I could make some like drink recipe type videos and stuff in Wills in the cosplay, and I think that would be a ton of fun. But that's an idea for the future. But as it stands, I'm still pushing towards this being my primary way of supporting my family. And of my future goals, it still stands. Game development, chasing voice acting, specifically still chasing the goal of being an Arknights voice actor. And at this point, I would accept OG Arknights or Enfield, or both. Both would be even better, but OG Arknights, I think, would be my #1 choice. But I would be happy to be part of anything Arknights history. So as a voice actor for that, that's my main goal with voice acting. And then reaching 1,000 subscribers and having a fully monetized channel properly. And who knows what else the future will hold. But that's pretty much where we're at right now. That's how things have been recently and what we're looking at for the future. So I hope that for the rest of 2026 here, the second half here, that things continue to go well for us. I hope that for all of you in the community, that you continue to stay here and enjoy my content, enjoy my videos, enjoy my streams, and so much more. I hope you continue to follow my journey and support me. But let me know how I can support you as well. And let me know in the comments the kinds of things that you'd like to see. Anything that you think would be fun for me to do here through Arknights, through voice acting, through whatever other game that you'd like to see me play or do. Let me know just in general. What would make your viewing experience better here? I know I can't please everybody, but I'm also, you can consider this fishing for ideas for different things that would help make the channel more fun and continue to grow towards our goals. So with that said, that's pretty much it for this update. If anybody made it this far, you listened to this whole thing, I appreciate you for taking the time to be here, to hang out here, whether it's watching this, whether it's watching the streams while we're live or on the VOD, whether you're commenting, watching, lurking, whatever. You're welcome here. I'm thankful that you're here and that you're helping me reach my goals. Thank you, everybody, for helping me get to 600 subscribers. And here is to a positive and continual good future for all of us. Thank you so much for watching. And with that, that is it for this one. We will see you next time.